your specific person has been trying to contact you. They've been trying to call you, they've been trying to reach you, and all we have to do is call back at the right number in order to connect with them. And honestly, it's so much easier than we could ever imagine. And the reason I want to make this video is for everyone to understand not only that their specific person is trying to reach them and trying to come into their reality, but also how we never actually have to worry about worry or negative thinking at all. Because sometimes people ask me, okay, so Kyle, how do you get out of negative thoughts? How do you get out of negative worries? How do you consistently stay positive? And the answer is much more simple than you might think, and is, I would argue, is something that we already know at this moment. We just think it's too simple to act upon. And it really is very simply focus on what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. And the metaphor I always like to bring with this is this idea that you are connecting with a call with your specific person, or you are disconnecting. So anytime that you are focusing on your end state, it's like the call is in motion. You're on the phone and it is ringing, waiting for them to answer. That is every time you are imagining for the end, you are feeling as if you already have what you want, or doing anything that puts you into the state of already being with them. But the opposite is also true. Every time we focus on what we don't want, every time we focus or dwell upon negative circumstances or negative worries or third parties or anything of that nature, we're basically hanging up the call going directly to our specific person, and we're answering or calling a different reality. And I sometimes like to think of it in the ways of either focusing on creation or focusing on the past. Anytime you are worried, you are either focusing on the past or your external circumstances, which are never going to help us get into our end state. But instead, every time you are focusing on where you want to go, every time you're focusing on being with your specific person, or imagining them calling you or wanting to reach you or anything like that, you are thus focused on creation, or basically focused on the future of creation and what you are capable of at this current moment. Think of it this way. Anytime we are going to manifest someone that we've already been with, normally we start to focus on memories. We start to focus on previous experiences that we've had with them, and we try to recreate them. But this usually has a slight sense of missing or worry or sadness connected to it because of the past. But instead, when we focus on something new, when we focus on things that we want and we desire and that we can create, it feels like a new creation. It feels like a new birth of this new reality and of this new state, which gives a sense of motivation and anticipation. Like I mentioned in a previous video, we're basically anticipating or getting ready for this outcome. And so the more we're focusing on this, the more the call is going to get connected to the reality that we want. And there's a few things that we can actually ask ourselves or focus on in order to make sure that we are in alignment and the call is ringing towards the reality we want rather than the reality that we don't want. So what I want you to ask yourself is, am I still on the call with my desired future? I know it sounds very simple, and it's a very easy question to ask yourself throughout the day, but anytime you're worried, anytime you're having fear, anytime you're having anxiety, or just anytime you're feeling neutral or randomly, ask yourself that question throughout the day, and it will become very obvious that we accidentally focus on what we don't want. We're accidentally typing in a number into our phone, going to the reality that we do not desire. And if we ask ourselves, am I still on the call with my desired future? Because once we type in the number, it's going to be ringing. That's going to be the bridge of events taking us to where we want to go. But we just want to make sure we're on the call. Because when we're on the call, the bridge of events can take place. The bridge of events can move us in the direction we want. It can easily and effortlessly take us to where we want to go. But we have to be on the call. Otherwise, your specific person is going to answer the phone to no one because we've accidentally hung up too early. And that's what sometimes happens, which again, I want to say doesn't mess up your bridge of events. So it's not going to be completely taken away from you. If you accidentally hang up on your specific person, it doesn't matter. You can still just pick up the phone and dial back. but that's kind of what we're doing. We're accidentally cutting short the ringtone of the reality or the bridge that is taking us to where we want to go. Because as we do it, remember, the bridge of events has to come to us in a way that feels logical and makes sense to our mind. And so we have to keep on the line until our current assumptions create that reality. And that's where then sometimes time kind of gets involved, because technically your specific person can answer on the first ring. You can do minimal, almost no effort and just focus on what you want. And with a belief that is strong enough, or an assumption that is strong enough, a state of being that's strong enough, they can answer immediately on the first tone. It's just whenever we talk about, and I can make a complete video on this too, but whenever we talk about collapsing time, you always have to ask yourself, what makes the most sense to me in the moment? Because if it makes sense that your specific person answers on the first ringtone, then that's what's going to happen. But if we're kind of in the middle, maybe like 2 or 3 ringtones is still our vibe, that's okay if you are okay with waiting that long. We just need to change that. As well as this, anytime you are feeling impatient or worried or stressed, remember, you're currently on hold with your specific person, right? You've called, you're focused on what you want, and we need to remain on that line until our reality can answer it, until our reality can show up to us in a way that makes sense with our mind or makes sense with the bridge of events. So anytime you're feeling impatient, remember, you are not far off from what you desire. Technically, you could never be any distance away from what you desire. You already have it. But you're never far off. You are particularly on hold with your specific person, or the phone is ringing and they only need to answer it. And let me tell you, they are waiting to answer the phone. Them in your reality is basically, they're trying to contact you. They're trying to call you. They're trying to be with you. And we can't technically talk on the phone with them if we hang up the phone. And so we want to make sure that our imagination, our thoughts, our focus is always on what we want rather than what we don't want, because sometimes we're ringing a reality that we don't even desire and we don't even want them to pick up, right? When we're worried about a third party, when we're worried about distance, we're basically typing in a number and we better hope that it doesn't answer. Now, I will say, you can't manifest things that you don't want. Your mind is a portion of you and your subconscious is a part of you, and it will stop the miscreation that we can have. And miscreation in this term is just anything that we don't want. But always keep in mind, we want to make sure we're dialing the number that we want and we're waiting on the line for a specific person and not any other reality. But let's say you do accidentally call the wrong number and it answers, right? If that's the case, I just want you to say to yourself, oh, wrong number, not my call. That's all you have to do. Anything in your reality, wrong number, not my call. You think of something that you don't want, wrong number. Something tries to show up in a way that you don't want, wrong number, right? They're calling the wrong number because that's not the number that you're answering from in your reality. You're only answering the phone number that comes or is connecting to your specific person. That's the number that we are connecting to. But everything else can be a wrong number. If it tries to show up, if someone tries to tell you that you can't do something in your reality, wrong number. If the third party shows up, wrong number. If you're in no contact, wrong number, right? All of this can just be a wrong number because that is not your call. But it really can be as simple and as easy as that, because we just want to focus on, again, what we want rather than what we don't want. Another added aspect of doing this call with your specific person is to think of the signal strength. So throughout the day, I want you to just ask yourself, what do you think your current signal strength is with your specific person? Rate it 1 to 5. So maybe morning, midday, afternoon, evening. You're just going to rate yourself 1 to 5. What do you think the signal strength is? And the signal strength relates to how much we are in our end state. So how much we've been focusing on what we want, how much we've been feeling as the individual that already has what we want. That's the focus that we want to have, and that relates to our signal strength. And this will give us a really good indicator if the phone is ringing or if we're in an area with no service and it sounds like it's ringing, but your specific person isn't connecting on the other line. We just want to make sure, because we are in control of that signal strength, that it is as strong as we could possibly make it at any given time. Now, again, there will be times in which the signal strength is low, and there's no problem with that. We just want to make sure we are in an understanding of what our signal strength is, so we can always maximize it whenever we can. As always, I always like to give a really cool success story in relation to what you can manifest just by acting this out, and I think this success story is a really, really good one. So this person, after about a week, had their specific person completely 180 shift from a state of not wanting to be with them, not desiring them, and you can read it for yourself, basically talking about their future, talking about how they're ready to be together, and in the past we're showing up in the exact opposite. But this is the proof that your specific person is trying to contact you. They're trying to get in touch with the phone number of you that's already in your end state. They want to be with you. They want to be in this relationship. They want to be married. It's just that if we're dialing the wrong number, we're going to have someone that looks like our specific person but isn't answer the phone. It's going to be a completely different version of our specific person that shows up not wanting to be with us, or what this person previously had their specific person showing up as. But instead, when you focus on what you want, you get the correct number. You're able to dial the correct number and talk directly to your specific person that has been waiting for you this whole time. Because that's one really easy way to think of it. There is this version of, there's actually an infinite number of versions of your specific person in which you are together, and they're all begging to get on the phone with you. They want to talk to you. They want to call you. They want to be with you. They want to contact you in any way that they possibly can. And honestly, this is exactly something that you can manifest too. We just have to make sure we're dialing that right number. And so when you think about this phone call with your specific person, if you were to get on the phone with them right now, what do you think they would say to you? If they've been waiting to contact you, if you've been accidentally putting them on hold instead of answering the phone call, or you've been trying to call but been calling the wrong number, what do you think, or what do you want them to say as soon as you get in contact? What is that conversation? What does it look like? Are they telling you exactly like in the success story that they've been missing you, they've been trying to contact you, they've been trying to reach you, they see this amazing future with you? What is it that they are going to tell you as soon as they're able to get in contact with you? As well as this down below, after you write that out, make sure to comment any questions or comments or thoughts or successes that you've had in your manifestation. If you did want to post a question but you didn't want to post it publicly and you wanted to ask me, or you wanted to get personal guidance on your manifestation, make sure to head over to KyleAugustCoaching.com, and that is where you can reach me personally. As well as this, if you know that you are from now on going to be calling the direct line to your specific person, leave a thumbs up on this video. As well as this, thank you so much for subscribing today. You need to subscribe because I need to see and hear your success when you're with your specific person. A huge shout out to all my members. Thank you so much to all the members, and I can't wait to see you in my next video tomorrow.